If you ever wondered how pure clear palm kernel oil is made traditionally, then today's video is for you. No chemicals, no shortcuts, just the authentic local process passed down for generations. And trust me, the result is absolutely worth it. So these are the palm kernel we'll be working with today. And as you can see, the quantity is quite much. If it was a smaller quantity, I would have simply poured them into my blender, add some water and blend everything smoothly. Especially if you have a very strong blender with unbreakable jar. But for this large batch, the blender will struggle. So we are going with the traditional method instead. First, I transfer the palm kernels into a pot and place them on medium-high heat while stirring continuously. What we are doing here is softening the kernels to make grinding much easier later on. Since we'll be taking them to the local tomatoes grinder, they need to be softened properly first. As the kernels heat up, keep stirring from time to time so they roast evenly and don't burn. When properly roasted, grinding them becomes as easy as grinding corn. You also notice something very important. The kernels will begin releasing some of their natural oil. Once you get to that stage, that is your sign to stop heating. Next, I take them to the local tomatoes grinder and grind everything until very smooth. And this is exactly the texture you want. Smooth and well processed. Now, transfer the grounded palm kernel paste into a pot. Add enough water and place it on the stove. Bring it to a boil, and once it starts boiling properly, remove it from the heat immediately. After that, I divide the mixture into two buckets and add enough room temperature water to completely cover it. Then stir everything very well using a wooden spatula before setting it aside to rest. At this point, I still had some extra grounded palm kernel left, so I repeated the same process again. In total, I ended up with 3 buckets. Now comes the interesting part. After leaving the buckets overnight, I bring them back the next day, and as you can see, the oil and curd have floated beautifully to the top in all 3 buckets. That is simply the law of density at work. The lighter oil rising naturally above the water. Now bring in a pot and carefully scoop out the thick top layer into the pot. Try as much as possible to avoid scooping too much water along with it, because excess water means longer cooking time, while less water helps the oil separate faster. Once you finish with the first bucket, repeat the same process for the remaining buckets. Again, avoid taking too much water. Another easier option is to place the buckets in the freezer for a short time so the top layers solidifies slightly, making it easier to lift everything out at once. After collecting the top layer from all the 3 buckets, stir the mixture once again and allow it to rest for another 6 hours. This gives another batch of oil-rich curd enough time to float back to the top. 6 hours later, repeat the scooping process again, just like before. And honestly, you can continue repeating this process until nothing else floats up anymore. That way, you extract as much oil as possible without waste. Now, it is finally time to cook the oil and curd mixture we collected. Place the pot on medium heat and cook while stirring from time to time. The cooking duration depends on the quantity you are making and also how much water entered during scooping. As the cooking continues, we notice the oil gradually separating from the curd. Keep stirring occasionally so the bottom doesn't get burned because burnt curd can darken the oil and we want that beautiful clear golden color. After some time, more and more oil will continue separating beautifully from the curd. And here is how you know it is ready. The curd will transform from a thick paste into tiny granules that looks like crumbs. That's your sign to stop cooking. Turn off the heat and allow everything to cool down completely before filtering. Now that the oil has cooled completely, it is time to filter out all the particles so we can get that clean, clear golden palm kernel oil. Make sure to squeeze out every last drop of oil because you definitely don't want to waste all that goodness. Finally, transfer the filtered oil into your storage container. And that is it. Pure traditional clear palm kernel oil made from scratch. If you enjoyed this process and learned something new, don't forget to like, share, and follow for more traditional DIY methods and homemade productions video. See you in the next one. God bless.